Hi, welcome back to Hacienda Homestead. This weekend is going to be a busy weekend for our church. We have a wild game supper on, tomorrow evening, and then we have a baby dedication and a lunch after church. So for both suppers, I have to take a side and a dessert. So I'm just going to, I've made a list of what I'm going to make. I'm going to be making a broccoli rice casserole, a dump cake, and some snickerdoodle cookies. And then I've still got to come up with one more side to take. Not sure what I'll come up with yet, but I thought that y'all might enjoy following along with me. These are not homemade from scratch or anything like that. It's just quick, easy things that seemed to work for a church potluck, and I needed something that would make a lot, and so this is what I settled on. So let's get started. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is start some water to boil because I need to make some rice. I'm going to do 3 cups of water, and so I'll have 3 cups of rice because it's 3 cups of water per 3 cups of rice. So I want 3 cups of rice, and I need to get some. Next, I'm going to start my broccoli. I just have a bag of frozen broccoli that I'm going to cook on the stove. I need to turn my water on. There we go. This is actually one of my favorite sides to make, and you can even go so far as to add chicken, and then you have like a chicken broccoli and rice, and that's really good too, and then you have your meat incorporated. Thankfully, the church is providing the meat, so we don't have to worry about that. We just need sides today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook all of this, and then the day of, I will just pop it in the oven and heat it through, and it'll be ready to go. So now I'm going to start my dump cake. With a dump cake, you can pretty much do any sort of fruit pie filling that you want. I've never actually made this particular one, but I found caramel apple pie filling at the store yesterday, and I thought, well, that would be good for a dump cake. So I bought 2 cans. I don't know if I'm going to need both cans. And then you just get I always like to get the golden butter cake, but you can get any cake mix and sprinkle it on top. You'll see it's a very easy, simple way to make a really good dessert, especially if you have some ice cream, vanilla ice cream, Bluebell here in the South, to top on top. It's really good. So, but I've made this with the regular apple pie filling. I've made it with blueberries. You can make it with blackberry, anything that, any sort of pie filling, it works. So because I'm taking it to church and there's gonna be a lot of people there, and I was trying to make it easy for the cleanup because we also have to do cleanup. I just went ahead and I have foil pans, so I'm going to put my dump cake and my casseroles and stuff in the foil pan, so if they can just be thrown away after it's over with, assuming that it gets all eaten. If not, I'll probably bring it home. For my dump cake, I've got 2 caramel apple pie fillings or toppings, it says, cans. And I'm not sure if I need both cans. And I'm just going to pour them into my foil pan. Yes, I'm going to need both pans. So we'll go ahead and add my second can. You could also add nuts to this if you wanted to, pecans. You could top it with pecans. So I'm just gonna spread it out in my pan. That. I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my oven to 350. So I put my pie filling in the pan, and I'm gonna take my cake mix and I'm just gonna sprinkle it on my pie filling. Now you can see I probably used maybe half of the bag. I'm not going to use the whole bag. I think it will be too much. So I'm just going to save it for another time that I need to do something. And then I'm going to get some butter. And I'm going to cut it in just little slices, and I'm going to layer it on the cake mix. And then I'm going to pop this in the oven, and when it gets nice and golden brown, it'll be done. Okay, my water's boiling for my rice, so now I'm going to add 3 cups of rice. I'm going to turn my water off. And move it off the burner, and that rice will start cooking. I'm going to check on my broccoli. Okay, now I'm going to saute some onions. So I'm going to put about 4 tablespoons of butter in a skillet. And turn that on. Yesterday I chopped some onions and put them in the freezer. So I'm going to use these. Won't take them long to thaw. My broccoli is done, so I'm just going to pull it off the burner. And I'm going to get my onions going here. And I'm going to go ahead and put some salt and pepper on them. I'll check on our rice. Oh, it looks nice. It's good. My aunt is the one that taught me this recipe, and I still think that when she makes it, it tastes better than when I make it. But every once in a while, I get it right. Like I get it to where, oh yeah, that tastes like hers. Okay, my onions are nice and sauteed. They've turned translucent, so I know that they're ready. And I'm gonna add 2 cans of cream of chicken. Just kind of mix it in there with the butter. There we go. Now I'm going to start adding all my ingredients into this big bowl here. So the first thing I'm going to do is just pour in my onions and cream of chicken. Then I'm going to add my rice. And then one thing that I like to do is I like to chop up my broccoli into smaller pieces, even though this was broccoli cuts. I find that, you know, a lot of people don't like broccoli. So if it's in smaller pieces, it stretches it. And for those that didn't want whole chunks of broccoli, it works well for. So I'm just gonna drain a little bit of this water off this broccoli. Just going to chop it up. Smells really good. This is one of my favorite meals. My daughter loves it. The guys usually don't like it unless it has chicken or some kind of meat in it, but I have made it with rotisserie chicken. Just put rotisserie chicken in it, and it's really good also. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to add this to my bowl. And then I'm just going to mix everything up. Once you mix it up. You'll know if you think, use your discretion as to whether you think you need to add another can of cream of chicken or not. But I think this looks fine. So I am gonna add a little bit more salt and pepper. And just mix that up. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and spray my pan. And then I'm just gonna pour the mixture into it. As you can see, it makes quite a bit, which is one of the reasons why I like to make it, because you can also even make more than this if you have you're going to be cooking for a lot of people and it's just you. So got that. Now I'm going to top it with some cheese. Going to top it with some cheese, and then I'm just going to put it in the refrigerator until the morning when it's time to heat it up. Now, if I were going to cook it right now, I would just put it in a 350-degree oven until the cheese melted and it's warmed through. Of course, right now it's pretty hot anyway. So we've got one thing down. The next thing on my list is snickerdoodle cookies. Now, I don't know how broad a range snickerdoodles, like I don't know if it's a country thing, but it is definitely a southern thing where we live anyway. Snickerdoodles, they're the best cookie you'll ever have. They're so good. And so I'm gonna start with 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And this recipe makes quite a lot. The last time I made it, it made, I want to say 30 cookies. So once again, I'm going for quantity because we're trying to be feeding a lot of people. So, I'm sorry, 2 3/4 cups of flour. 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar. A teaspoon of baking soda. And 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to kind of mix all that up. In a separate bowl, I'm going to add a cup of unsalted butter, and it needs to be softened. So each stick is a 1/2 cup, so 2 sticks of butter. Put it in a measuring cup and pop it in the microwave to soften it. I have my 2 sticks of softened butter. Now I'm going to add my sugar. 1.5 cups of sugar. I'm just gonna cream this together real well. Then I'm gonna add 2 eggs. And you can make this in your stand mixer. I just didn't feel like getting my mixture out. I usually make them by hand and not use the mixer, so. And then a teaspoon of vanilla. Got that all creamed together. And now I'm going to add the mixture to my dry ingredients. If you've never had a snickerdoodle, you really are missing out. They are some of the best cookies. They're not overly sweet. They're soft. This is also a good dough if you want to freeze it and then just pull it out on the day that you want to make your cookies. You can do that. I'm going to go ahead and make the cookies because we are going to be so busy tomorrow. I'm afraid I'm not going to have enough time to cook a whole bunch of cookies. So, and you can also add it or put it in your refrigerator and let it sit overnight. That won't bother it. Get some of that off. I'm gonna make sure all my dry ingredients are mixed well. Now I have my sheet pan out. I'm going to get my cookie scoop. We're going to add some cinnamon sugar to a bowl. And this is cinnamon sugar I had just already mixed up and that I keep for when we have cinnamon toast and stuff. My cookie mat down. And I'm going to just get a cookie scoop, roll it in a ball, then I'm going to roll it in my cinnamon sugar and put it on my mat. So you want to preheat your oven to 350 and then bake them for about 8 to 10 minutes. Our first pan of cookies are ready to come out. Here they are. And I'm gonna let them just sit for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna turn them out onto some parchment paper. Now I'm gonna put my cookies out onto some parchment paper. And as you can see, they didn't really spread a lot, so you can kind of put them pretty close together. It's time to take our second pan of cookies out. So I like these cookies because doesn't take very long for them to bake up. I'll let them sit there for a little bit. So here's all of our cookies. Cookies have cooled off. Nice cinnamon sugar. It's so soft and so good. You'll definitely want to try this cookie. It is so good. I just checked on our dump cake and it is nice and brown, so I'm going to be taking it out of the oven. That's what it looks like. It's nice and buttery. It'll be delicious, especially if somebody brings ice cream. Maybe I should go ahead and do that. So let me know if you try any of these recipes, or if you have one that you think I need to try, let me know and I will try it. And thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time.